In the depths of our digital lives, a sinister force is at play, one that harvests our most intimate thoughts and emotions, converting them into a lucrative commodity. This is the realm of surveillance capitalism, where the lines between personal freedom and exploitation are increasingly blurred. Every click, every search, every like, and every share is being monitored, recorded, and analyzed to create a detailed portrait of who we are, what we desire, and how we can be influenced. The architects of this system, tech giants and data brokers, have perfected the art of extracting value from our private lives, often without our knowledge or consent. They achieve this through a complex web of data collection mechanisms, from cookies and trackers embedded in websites and apps, to the sophisticated algorithms that predict our behaviors and preferences. These digital footprints are then aggregated and sold to the highest bidder, fueling a multi-billion-dollar industry that thrives on the commodification of personal data. The consequences are profound, affecting not only our privacy but also our autonomy, as we become the unwitting subjects of a vast social experiment designed to manipulate our choices and shape our perceptions. The most alarming aspect of surveillance capitalism, however, lies in its ability to influence our thoughts and actions at a deeply psychological level. By leveraging insights from behavioral psychology and neuroscience, these companies can craft targeted advertisements and social media campaigns that exploit our vulnerabilities and biases, often to the detriment of our well-being. This silent invasion of our mental space raises fundamental questions about the future of democracy, free will, and human dignity in the digital age. As we navigate the uncharted territories of the internet, we are, unknowingly, surrendering our most valuable asset, our private thoughts. The surveillance capitalist machine is always watching, always learning, and always adapting, making it imperative that we understand its inner workings and the profound implications for our individual and collective freedoms. In the vast expanse of the digital landscape, a silent observer lurks, tracking every move, every click, and every thought. This is the realm of surveillance capitalism, where the most intimate details of our lives are harvested, packaged, and sold to the highest bidder. The notion that our private thoughts and behaviors are being monetized is a disturbing reality that has far-reaching implications for our society. Every time we engage with a digital service, whether it's a social media platform, a search engine, or a streaming service, we are inadvertently surrendering valuable data about ourselves. This data is then used to create sophisticated profiles, which are used to predict and manipulate our behavior. The most insidious aspect of surveillance capitalism is its ability to normalize the collection of our personal data. We are often led to believe that these services are free, but the truth is that we are paying with our data. Every like, share, and comment is a valuable currency that is being extracted from us without our explicit consent. This data is then used to create targeted advertisements, which are designed to exploit our deepest desires and fears. The goal is to create a sense of urgency and anxiety, compelling us to make impulsive purchasing decisions. The consequences of this are profound, as we are no longer in control of our own desires and preferences. Furthermore, the collection of our data is not limited to our online activities. The proliferation of smart devices and the Internet of Things has created a vast network of sensors and trackers that monitor our every move. Our homes, our cars, and even our bodies are being transformed into data-generating machines. This has led to the creation of a new class of surveillance capitalists, who are making fortunes by exploiting our most intimate and personal data. The implications of this are chilling, as we are facing a future where our every thought and action is being monitored and controlled. The most disturbing aspect of surveillance capitalism is its impact on our mental health. The constant stream of targeted advertisements and notifications is designed to activate our brain's reward system, releasing feel-good chemicals such as dopamine. This can lead to a state of continuous distraction, as we are compelled to constantly check our devices for updates and notifications. The consequences of this are devastating, as we are facing a mental health crisis of epic proportions. The erosion of our attention span, the decline of deep thinking, and the rise of anxiety and depression are all symptoms of a larger disease. As we navigate the complex landscape of surveillance capitalism, it is essential that we understand the true nature of this threat and take steps to protect ourselves from its insidious grasp. As we delve deeper into the world of surveillance capitalism, it becomes alarmingly clear that our private thoughts are no longer our own. The likes of Google, Facebook, and Amazon have mastered the art of extracting our innermost thoughts, desires, and fears, and monetizing them for their own gain. This is not just a matter of targeted advertising, but a full-scale assault on our mental autonomy. The process begins with the collection of our data, often under the guise of convenience and improved user experience. We willingly hand over our personal information, from search queries to browsing history, in exchange for the promise of efficiency and personalized results. But what we don't realize is that this data is being used to create intricate maps of our minds, identifying patterns and vulnerabilities that can be exploited for profit. One of the primary tools used by surveillance capitalists is a technique known as predictive analytics. By analyzing our online behavior, they can predict our future actions, including our purchasing decisions, with uncanny accuracy. This information is then used to craft targeted advertisements that are designed to manipulate our emotions and influence our decisions. It's no longer just about selling us products, but about shaping our desires and perceptions to align with the interests of the corporations. But it doesn't stop there. Surveillance capitalists are also using advanced technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning to analyze our language, tone, and syntax, in order to gain insight into our thoughts and emotions. This is often done through the use of natural language processing, which allows them to identify subtle cues and patterns in our speech and writing. The implications are chilling, as it means that our private thoughts and feelings are no longer private, but are instead being used to fuel the engines of profit. Moreover, the use of neuromarketing, a field that combines neuroscience and marketing, has become increasingly prevalent. By studying the neural responses of consumers to different stimuli, corporations can create advertisements that are tailored to specific brain regions, effectively bypassing our conscious awareness and speaking directly to our subconscious minds. This is a level of psychological manipulation that is unprecedented in human history, and it raises fundamental questions about the nature of free will and autonomy. As we continue to surrender our private thoughts to the altars of surveillance capitalism, we are also surrendering our agency and autonomy. We are no longer the masters of our own minds, but rather the subjects of a vast experiment in psychological manipulation. The consequences of this are far-reaching, and threaten to undermine the very foundations of our democracy and our humanity. It's time to wake up to the reality of surveillance capitalism, and to demand a new era of transparency and accountability. Our thoughts, our emotions, and our very souls are at stake. The question is, will we continue to surrender to the forces of exploitation, or will we rise up and reclaim our minds? As we delve deeper into the world of surveillance capitalism, it becomes increasingly clear that the true extent of its reach is far more sinister than we could have ever imagined. The fact that our every move, both online and offline, is being tracked, recorded, and analyzed is no longer a secret. However, what is not commonly known is how this data is being used to monetize our private thoughts. The companies that operate in this space have developed sophisticated algorithms that can accurately predict our behavior, desires, and fears. They use this information to create highly targeted advertisements that are designed to manipulate our thoughts and actions. One of the most striking examples of this is the use of something called predictive analytics. This involves using advanced statistical models to forecast our future behavior based on our past actions. For instance, if you have been searching for information on fitness and exercise, predictive analytics can be used to determine the likelihood of you purchasing a gym membership or fitness equipment in the near future. This information is then used to target you with advertisements that are tailored to your specific interests and needs. But that's not all. Surveillance capitalism also involves the use of psychographic profiling. This is a technique that involves creating detailed profiles of our personalities, values, and attitudes. These profiles are used to categorize us into specific groups, which are then targeted with tailored advertisements and propaganda. For example, if you have been identified as someone who is concerned about environmental issues, you may be targeted with advertisements for eco-friendly products or political campaigns that align with your values. The implications of this are profound. Not only are our private thoughts and behaviors being monetized, but they are also being used to manipulate our perceptions and actions. This has significant consequences for our democracy, as it allows companies and governments to influence our thoughts and behaviors in ways that are both subtle and insidious. Furthermore, the fact that this is all happening in the shadows, without our knowledge or consent, raises serious questions about the nature of our society and the extent to which we are truly free. As we continue to navigate this complex and ever-evolving landscape, it is essential that we remain vigilant and aware of the ways in which our private thoughts are being exploited for profit. By doing so, we can begin to take back control of our lives and our minds, and create a more just and equitable society for all. The question is, are we ready to take that step, or will we continue to succumb to the dictates of surveillance capitalism? As we conclude our journey into the realm of surveillance capitalism, it's essential to acknowledge the profound implications of a system that monetizes our private thoughts. The notion that our innermost musings, desires, and fears are being harvested and traded like commodities is a stark reminder of the erosion of our personal autonomy. The likes of Google, Facebook, and Amazon have created an intricate web of data collection, siphoning our digital footprints to predict and manipulate our behavior. This has far-reaching consequences, from influencing our purchasing decisions to shaping our political affiliations. The insidious nature of surveillance capitalism is that it operates in the shadows, often beneath our conscious awareness. As we navigate the digital landscape, we must recognize that our thoughts, feelings, and experiences are being extracted and repackaged as valuable assets. It's crucial that we demand greater transparency and accountability from these corporate entities, and that we take proactive steps to safeguard our digital sovereignty. By doing so, we can reclaim our agency and ensure that our private thoughts remain just that, private. The future of our collective humanity depends on it, and it's time for us to take a stand against the pervasive forces of surveillance capitalism.